you, Dhaval, for joining us today on Let's Talk Business series by RealtyNXT.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting. I've heard a lot about your series and the things which you promote, and you actually know about the real estate market. So it's great to be here. Thank you very much.
So, before we dive into the questions with regards to the current industry insights and everything, so as a second generation developer, what are the values and principles that guide your decision making and also helps you in the growth of the company process of success and its growth? Also, how does your family legacy influence your perspective on this industry?
So my this is our as an Ajmera, I would say, principle. We as Ajmera are primarily a lot believed, and we are more focused on three, four things. One is trust, one is commitment, and one is innovation. These are the three principles of where we as Ajmeras are really, really, thrive to work towards. So, and today, we are very proud that we are like a three generation family business working together. And I come from the second generation where I am I would say between the first and the third, where the young minds and the experienced people coming together to actually grow the company. And that's where we see. So what we primarily believe and what I have seen, that business working earlier versus business working now, and what are the ethos and the principles eventually remain the same. It's like if you have to grow the business, if you really want to take your legacy forward, you need to stick to what your ethos were. You need to stick to what the principles of your company are, right? So that is something which we don't compromise on. Number one. Number two, while yes, innovation, technology is something we need to adopt because that's changing times and that's the changing things which is really required, and that's how we move ahead. But
Yeah.
keeping new technologies, keeping new dimensions in mind, but not forgetting the ethos. So these are the two basic things which needs to be merged, work together, and that's, I believe, is the success of our company.
So we have a question from a lot of viewers also. They want to know that I'm sure you must have faced this where you have come across a certain incidents where you had to make a tough decision and it might be unpopular with your family members or with the company, but you were still believing that this decision is required to make and is necessary for the growth of the company or the success of the company in long term. Have you gone through certain incidences like that?
Well, to be honest, we've as a company, we work on a certain direction. There is every one of us has something, a certain responsibility in terms of a portfolio, in terms of a project, or whatever it is. But if there are decisions which are little different from my view, let's say if I think A and there is, as a family or as a board we think B, eventually it has been discussed and it is eventually come out to a decision which is consensus to everybody. And if majority, or if it's like somebody as a head of our family, like our chairman or the MD, his decision will have a lot of weightage, and that's where we discuss and move. So I mean, to be frank with you, there's never been a case where I have to, or any one of us has to be, taking a decision which is against the family or which is against the company, but in the interest of the company, because we've always discussed things and we move with a consensus decision that yes, this is what we all think together, and which is for the betterment of the company, and that's how we work.
So in an industry like this, it's often associated, with high competition, the high stakes, intense competition. So with regards to this kind of scenario, how do you make sure to practice, the ethical practice and maintain integrity when it comes to your business dealings?
Well, I believe work is something which is your own brand. Your brand and your work will actually show whatever we do or however we take. So if we are working right, if you are working with a with an honest intention to really project your company or your projects, or you showcase your project in the right way, I don't see success not coming, at least in there. So if I have to look that we are in this business since last 54 years, and we have actually delivered 45,000 apartments with a very clear and an honest intention to that, to deliver apartments, to make houses better, and to grow within the company and within the area with the competition where we are. So competition is great. People compare, people know, but at the same time, if you're doing work which is right, I think the rules are very clear with the government and with the local authorities that if you are within that framework of the law, I don't think anyone can really stop you. And competition is a healthy competition. It's not something, because I personally believe that the realty market, even if every developer of us or whoever is there in the market works for a longest period of time, still there is enough and more demand for each and every one of us. So uh, it's a healthy competition, but not like a fierce competition, because people will have an option A, B, C,
Yeah.
and they will select whatever is the best for them. But eventually, the market is going to absorb each and everything. And if you work right, and if you showcase right, and if you deliver right, I think there's no uh, uh, pool of work which you cannot do.
Yeah. So government has introduced, policies like PMAY, even RADA to
Hmm.
give a boost and regulate the real estate industry. According to you, what changes or improvements are still there required for this industry to gain, of course, for the customer point of view, also to have that more transparency in and to gain that more trust from the customer point of view? What's your
So
take on that?
my belief is that real estate market is a very buoyant market. People are in India primarily are a very emotional. They have a very emotional attachment towards real estate.
Yeah.
So if you, it's a very old saying, roti kapda makan. So it's a very integral part of everyone's decision. So you, me, or anyone in India will have some part of real estate with them. Maybe a house, maybe a flat, maybe a plot, maybe a bungalow, maybe whatever, like a commercial space, a warehouse space, anything, but some bit of real estate will be within us, and we will, if we have some spare money, if we want to invest, I think there'll be 0.001% who will say, okay, I don't want any real estate, I'll probably invest in gold, stocks or whatever. But I think majority of are there. So it's a very integral part, I mean, as real estate to us. And I believe, government is also, have realized and are working towards, encouraging real estate and having, our honorable Prime Minister's vision of housing for all. It's a very, very big initiative. And to make that success, I think PMAY scheme is good, but I think that needs to be more encouraged, number one. And it should be encouraged city to city and suburb to suburb. So if I have to give an example today, there is a definition of affordable housing which states that any houses under 45 lakhs is unaffordable. But to be honest and realistic, like in a city like Mumbai, affordable is 1 crore, right?
Yeah.
So and or a city like Pune or Bangalore or anywhere else in a suburb city, the affordability segment is different. So our take, as as an association, as Prada MCHR, and anyone, we personally believe that the housing affordability should be on the size of the apartment and not the value of the apartment, because value is a proposition of land, is a proposition of premiums, is a proposition of construction cost, very, very different factors. But
Yeah.
if you say that a 60 square meter or a 600 square feet house or a 90 square meter or a 45 square meter house is the definition of affordable, like any houses between 45 to 60 square meter is defined as affordable, I think that will open up a lot of stream within the market, like Mumbai, within the market, any suburb cities, and not defining it or capping it like it. Right now, the definition states 45 or 60 square meters or 45 lakhs,
Yeah.
but it should be just 45 to 60 square meters and not 45 lakhs. Just say define it as 60 square meters, and then we see that is the real affordable housing definition. And there are enough and more benefits available for the public at large, and it will be coming to use, and there will be a lot of movement in real estate coming in because of this. And with that, let's be honest, today real estate is directly, indirectly supporting, connected to 270, 80 other industries. So if one of this cycle moves, it's 280 other different industries cycle which is moving. So I think what agriculture is to the rural economy of India, real estate is to the urban economy. So if we really promote and boost real estate this way, I think it will really change a lot into the economic cycle of India.
Yeah.
Challenging task, and as a company, we are striving to go there.
So tell me, we are noticing a lot of branded developers from their existing market are exploring other markets in India. Be Shobha shifting towards the north side, or be Godrej exploring the south side. Will we see Ajmera plans like that expanding, be in the South India side or the east side? What are the plans ahead for the expansion?
So, well, we as Ajmeras have, over the last, so we focused on 3 4 cities. We've earlier done a lot of development in different cities, in Gujarat, in Pune, in Bangalore, in primarily a lot in Mumbai, but also in Gujarat and Pune and Bangalore. These were the 4 5 areas where we were focused on. But now, as a company, we believe that our focus is primarily more in Mumbai, but at the same time, it's Bangalore and Pune, and to an extent Ahmedabad. See, these are the 4 cities where we believe that as a western and the southern belt of India has the most growth potential, and probably as the most what do you call, one of the favorite urban cities of India, and will have a lot of growth potential possible in these areas or regions. So hence we are growing more and we are expanding in these cities more, and we would continue to do this in the given future as well.
So, could you mention about Ahmedabad? I wanted to know your take on the gift city. What do you think the current market is like? Is it the right market for any home buyer to invest in gift city, because the development are still in progress, right? The commercial buildings are there, residential's few buildings are there which are still under construction. But as a home buyer, as an investor, what would you suggest them when it comes to gift city?
So my take is, gift city is a very good concept, and I believe in India there should be 100 such gift cities, and not just one. But it's a great start. I would should say it's a great start. Uh, because it's from the kind of promotions, the kind of forget the tax incentive or forget whatever is there. It's a great incentive, and that should be there for every business or everyone to start their work over there. But at the same time, if you really look at the kind of planning and the infrastructure which is done, I think that is actually kind of a smart city, or a city where today's modern age people would like to strive to really want to live in these kind of cities. So today, today, honestly, we as developers, or many of us develop our townships the way a gift city is developed. So,
Yeah.
but obviously, our land parcels are smaller as compared to gift city. But if today I as Ajmera want to give the best to my clients and my customers, have the best of the infrastructure in terms of lighting, in terms of infrastructure, water, everything, right? And if the government is doing it in terms to a city like this, I think it's a great job, and it's really encouraging. It's a it's like how BKC was probably 20 years back, when probably residential movement was not there.
Yeah.
But eventually today people really want to also, if there was an option given, people want to shift to BKC because it's like the buzzing prime suburb of Mumbai, with the best of the commercial establishments, the best of the restaurants, lifestyle, and being residential around, and the planned good roads, everything. So I think that's exactly what Gift City probably will see in the next coming years.
So will we see Ajmera group also entering in Gift City?
Well, we hope so. We've honestly not. We've evaluated earlier, but not currently. I'll be very honest to you. But if opportunity rises our way, why not?
So tell us about the ongoing projects and the launches in this current fiscal year. What plans Ajmera Group has? Also, what market demands that you have noticed, or emerging trends that you have noticed, that as a brand actively you're making sure it's being addressed in the offerings of these projects?
So, to talk about our expansion plans, as I said earlier, we as a company are planning to grow 5x from where we are. And taking those steps and taking those cues ahead, we have started our growth journey post COVID. We did a 400-ish or 500-ish crore turnover in 2021. 2022 we saw 800 crores. This year we are probably eyeing to see a little more higher than what we did last year, and that's the growth journey where we are moving ahead. At the same time, we are launching four more projects this year. One is already been launched. About three more is in the pipeline in the coming 8-9 months, where which will have a top line of around 2,000 crores. And uh, and in the going future, in the next 2 to 3 years, we will have another few projects which will have another 5-6 thousand crores of projects in the next 2 years or 3 years where we'll be launching. So given put together, that's our growth journey, and beyond which we also have a land banks in whatever different places of Mumbai, primarily Mumbai, which has a great potential coming up, but that will be launched as and how the market demands, and we see a great potential coming in. So as a company, we are very very excited, very buoyant to see what we have in our pipeline. And at the same time, this is something which we have, but growth is something where we always strive to be. And we are looking at projects in a city of Mumbai primarily, because we believe this city has a great potential with the kind of infrastructure the city has seen or is witnessing. I think it's going to change a lot in terms of its demand, and which we are seeing that Mumbai is really fast. It's like really growing well in
Yeah.
terms of its demand for real estate. So yeah, we are looking at projects in our different, and we also know the reality that Mumbai has a very very it's a scarce land now, like in a
Mm.
city of Mumbai. So redevelopment, slum redevelopment, Mada redevelopment, these are the options which are available. So that's the area where we are working on. We are looking at some projects or
Mm.
discussing with few, or some stressed assets which are probably possible. That's something which we are working on and trying to see if we can strike a deal. So that's the region where we are working on. And as far as trends are concerned, what we have really noticed is post COVID, we've seen a lot of focus of a person being in a apartment. Like today, if you are, let's say you're in a two-bedroom apartment, you strive to be in a two and a half or a three-bedroom.
Yeah.
You want that extra space. You want that, obviously budget is a concern, and which everyone is, where they understand that if I have to push myself for an extra space, there will be an extra pricing. But with that, people are looking at buying a part in a in a larger way, in a larger space. And at the same time, we have noticed that people in Mumbai or wherever, with the kind of traffic, with the kind of stress in terms of work, they want to have a work life balance. That
Yeah.
has become their mantra
Priority.
or a
Yeah.
goal. And they are, and with that they want, what I mean by this is, once they are home, they want to have the best of the amenities within their own housing complexes and all.
Mm.
So projects with the best of the amenities, project with complex kind of a gated community, I think will
Mm.
always strive to be at a premium as compared to other projects. And because that's where they feel that children, their family is more secure. They have a larger family within the community. And I think that's the trend which we have been constantly noticing, that gated communities,
Mm.
buildings with better amenities, will have a premium and will be more in demand as compared to others.
True. So in Mumbai, if we ask home buyers few projects which they feel is standing out when it comes to Powai, everyone talks about Niranjan's initiatives. But when it comes to Wadala, everyone is talking about Ajmera Group, the Ajmera Island. And I have visited that property, and it's quite well planned. It's not like that if it's huge space you put up a lot of towers together. It's quite well planned, where the space is also provided to the residents. Even the amenities are well planned. It's not like too many of amenities which are not required. So how did you as a brand also think through about the home buyers? How did you tap into exactly how do we go about in planning Wadala project?
Well, Vadala, as I have said earlier, is our, it's something which we really, put our head over heart and say that, we're really proud as a family to, develop that kind of market where something which was actually not there. And it's the vision of our late chairman when he bought this property probably so many years back, to have this vision that someday this place is going to become like a place where everyone would strive to live to. As a company, we have really developed that place, because as Ajmeras, we've primarily been a lot into pin code creations. We've developed properties where honestly some things weren't there, but we built life. Pin code as a destination was created, and people actually strive to live there. And I'm really proud to say that, because we have projects like Shantinagar in Mira Road, which were where nobody was probably staying in Mira Road, and we developed a 265-acre township over there. Shastri Nagar in Lokhandwala, Manish Nagar in Four Bungalows, and Yogi Nagar in Borivali, and so on and so forth. Wadala Island is one of that kind of a thing where people didn't know, but with the kind of infrastructure coming up over there, and we were very clear that in a city of Mumbai, land is scarcity. Number one, number two, people are used to living in houses. We feel that we stay in a great house, but as I said earlier, that what do you really want? Like a person, if he's there, he should his walk to work, or his work should be very near to his house. Number one,
Yeah.
That's where we feel his efficiency will start improvising or increasing in terms of his work point of view, his family life point of view, both, right? Because he's traveling less, he's spending less time in the car and more time where it is required.
Yeah.
Number two, his family or the children, everyone should be quite secured, and we give the amenities which is keeping each and everyone very busy. So it's not something that I'm just sitting in my house, but I actually look forward to go down to play, to work out, to meet friends or do whatever. So uh, we believed that we make a lot of open space, because that is something which Bombay is really
Yeah.
not seeing. So we always believe that when we have such a big parcel of land, when we want to really showcase, why not showcase something which Mumbai is really striving to see? An open space is something which is really really scarce in Mumbai, and that's where if you look at it, probably it's a ratio of 80-20 roughly, I would say, where 20% is just buildings and 80% is openness. Yeah. Within the complex. So that's where people like it, with the kind of I can't I my neighbor is really there, but he's far away, right? So
True.
the buildings are far, the layouts are large, the openness is there. That gives a sense of proud to us, and also to a customer who's probably staying over there, and that's where we worked and planned on.